Racing New South Wales had a vision that they needed to do more in relation to horses' welfare when they finished racing. So they contacted me as a former trainer of the Mounted Police and decided that I would be a suitable person to start the program. So I took up the role, and that's pretty much how it started. Training program for the horses, when they finish racing they get 6 months spelling in the paddock up at St Heliers Prison. We have a partnership with a prison up there. And then they do 6 weeks work with the prisoners on natural horsemanship, work in hand and lunging. The inmates don't do any riding. I go up there every 6 weeks and start look at the last group of horses trained and start the next group of horses off. And once they've finished their 6 weeks up here, they come down to us at Canterbury where we start the ridden work and polish the horses up and then get them ready for sale. The prisons have been involved with a couple of animal programs. They do the greyhounds, they do wildlife, they do RSPCA dogs. So there was a history there of them being involved in animal programs, and it just seemed like a good fit. Peter Volandis, our CEO, saw a program in America where they were doing a similar thing and thought that it'd be a great idea for us to get involved, and it just so happened that the prison was keen to get involved as well. So that's how it started. The horses come from either owners, trainers or studs, and you know, some of the horses have had long racing careers, and you know, owners want to make sure that their horses are looked after when they're finished racing, and some of them come from studs where horses have been trialled for racing and weren't suitable and never even became racehorses. Yeah, look, at the moment our horses either go to private homes or to the Mounted Police. They very difficult to get horses that are good enough for the Mounties, but you know, we've put a few up for trial, and we've got a couple at the moment that look like they might be suitable. But most of the horses go to private homes. So far, not riding schools. Yeah, we like to, and the new owners generally stay in contact with us. It's good to see where the horses finish up and see. You know, they send us photos and you know, little stories about competitions that they go to and that sort of thing. Yeah, I get attached to all of them. You know, I wouldn't say harder to sell them because you know, I know that what we're doing is a good thing, and I know that they're going to good homes, and you know, that's part of the job to make sure that they do go to good homes. So I don't feel as though I don't feel sad that I sold them, but I do form you know, partnerships with pretty much all of them. Yeah, look, I think there's a big call for it. I think it's something that's been lacking for a long time. One, for thoroughbred welfare after horses finish racing, but two, because you know, people take thoroughbreds off the track and don't do a very good job of retraining them, and the potential for injury is high. So it's important that horses are trained properly when they come off the track, because their potential when they are trained properly is huge, but if they're not trained properly, they're liabilities. So yeah, I think that's why it's been so successful, because it's needed in both the equestrian industry and the racing industry. And yeah, it should go from strength to strength, because our reputation's growing. We're getting rid of more horses all the time, and you know, we're getting so many horses from the racing industry that at this point we can hardly keep up. So it should expand. There's a program in Victoria, outplacement program, where they take horses and place them out to trainers, to qualified trainers, to then train the horses and rehome them. There's nobody that has the holistic approach that we do, whereas we source the horses, spell the horses, train the horses, rehome the horses and follow up their progress. So in Australia, no, there's no one that does what we do in that holistic way. Well, obviously Racing New South Wales, without the racing industry itself, this doesn't exist. It's not a profit making or even we won't even break even with this program. It is all about horse welfare, and it's big expense, and Racing New South Wales put that expense up. So you know, without them, this just wouldn't happen.